Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Echo, Jenna's Path. So, the last place we left off was that we had just met with all our friends, we took a nice little group photo, and now we're just chilling with Leo. So, let's see where this episode takes us, shall we? I can't wait till we get that fork in the road part. Oh man, I can't wait to see what all the other paths are like. Anyway guys, sit back and enjoy, and let us begin. Alright. That was pretty good. You want to be a reporter? Maybe. I'd rather just write than be on a camera, though. Yo, Chase! Leo and I look up towards the car, greeted by the sight of a bright white ram's ass hanging out the back window of Leo's van. I don't really react. I mean, despite being self-conscious about his weight, Carl was pretty shameless about stuff like this. I'd probably seen his naked butt more often than I'd seen Leo's, and that was saying something. Hey, make sure you get a shot of my— Hey! At that moment, Flynn, who is sitting next to Carl in the back, reaches around and yanks the ram's pants down so that they hang around his knees. Even though Carl's pretty quick to pull them back up, I still get a pretty good view of his equally white balls dangling between his legs. Leo snorts, and I can see Flynn laughing his ass off while Carl punches him in the shoulder. Unfortunately for TJ, who was sitting in the middle row with Jenna, he was looking back at the time and probably got a much better view than I did. Now he's facing forward, covering his face while Jenna sits next to him, reading a book, looking uninterested. Nearly 21 and he's still doing that, huh? Yeah, it's a little more awkward without you three around, though. We head back to the car, and I grab the camera bag from the passenger seat to put the camera away. Man. I remember when I was 21. Oh, that was so nice. Well, I could stay 21 forever. Hey, did you see my ass? Saw more than that. Your thing's about the horrors of Echo, right? It'll be a perfect fit. Well, you can even fit it on the camera. I stashed the camera bag in the footwell before hopping in. Southwest Adventures is an amusement park right in the middle of Peyton. It's decent enough that people come not just from Peyton, but cities up to 100 miles away to vacation here. Because of this, it's usually crowded, and today is no exception. Families and their kids are everywhere. It's a generally nice day, sunny, in the 80s, and it, being on a Sunday, added to the crowd. I didn't mind, though. The point of this is to hang out with my friends. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving. Let's get some funnel cakes. Jesus, Carl, we just got here. Hey, I didn't have any breakfast. You had breakfast, all right, a blunt with a side of the munchies. It's no problem. You can do that while I plan out what we're doing. Carl ambles off on his way to the funnel cake stand. I snag one of the park maps from the entrance and I hand that to Leo. Alright, so usually when my family comes here, we go clockwise to hit all the rides. That sounds like a plan. It's pretty crowded today, so we probably won't be able to do everything, but in this order, we'll at least be able to ride Event Horizon. You sure? That line is always so long for that ride. TJ's looking up towards the tall, spiraling electric red steel roller coaster. It's definitely the most recognizable landmark in the park, and you could see from almost anywhere in Peyton. Yep, fastest and tallest roller coaster in the West. I think it'll be worth it. Oh. TJ rubs his arm with one paw, the corner of his muzzle twitching a little bit. I'd forgotten about that. He used to have a pretty pronounced motor tic where the corner of his mouth would twitch up over and over again. It used to be a constant thing, but it stopped once we entered middle school. Guess it hadn't completely gone away. You alright, TJ? We could skip the big rides if you... Oh, hell, TJ, you're a fucking adult now. No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. TJ snaps his head back towards us. He's all tensed up, and the movement looks like a rubber band being snapped. I'm riding all the rides with you guys. TJ walks off, his paws shoved deep in his pockets. I feel bad for him, and I want to give him an out somehow, but that's when Carl comes back with his funnel cake. It's topped with ice cream, powdered sugar, and strawberries. Yeah, anyone want to share? Sit right here, guys. Yeah, that looks really good. No, alright, guess I'll have to eat the whole thing. Great, now we gotta wait for Fat Ass to finish eating. Carl pulls his face out of the cake. Even with his white fur, I can see the powdered sugar clinging to his chin. Nah, I can eat in the line. We going on Event Horizon first, right? The wait'll be an hour long, at least. The line ends up being 2 hours long, and by the time we get to the actual ride, I'm dying to get into a pool of any kind. To put it bluntly, it already needs water. Part of the problem of living in Echo meant that we didn't have any kind of indoor pool system in our house, being as cheap as it was. We ended up having to get an outdoor swimming pool, which was a pain. Huh, nervous, Chase? I smirk at him. I've ridden it before, Leo. Though your tail's kind of down. Sure you're not nervous? Huh? Come on, Leo. Let's ride the front. I don't know. I watch as Jenna pulls Leo towards the line for the front, which is twice as long as all the others. I hop for the middle, and it just so happens that TJ comes with me. His tufted ears had been poking straight up the entire time, muzzle giving an occasional twitch. I lean over to him. You know, there's an exit over there for people who, change their mind. And I bet you could slip out without anyone knowing. Looks like not all of us are even going to be riding the same train. TJ stares straight ahead, clutching onto the railing. I can see his sharp claws unsheathed, pressing into the metal and chipping away at some of the red paint. No, I'm fine. You sure? Yep, perfectly fine. Well, we're in the middle, which is the best place to be if you don't like roller coasters. Yeah. I really wanted to be able to get TJ to skip the ride, but it seems like he's pretty determined to do it, for some reason. Finally, our train comes along, and I step in as two laughing and panting hyenas step out. Oh my god, that was the most intense! Holy shit, dude, I know, I never get scared on rides, and I almost fucking pissed myself! Oh, wow, kind of cracked my voice a little bit there. Ooh, okay. I do a quick check of the seat to make sure there isn't any actual piss before sitting down. I look up and see TJ standing on the edge of the platform, his eyes wide, one foot stuck out to get on. TJ? A bored-looking teenage fox comes by to check my lap bar, and I stick out my paw. Hey, wait, TJ, you getting on? Fox goes from looking bored to mildly annoyed. If you're getting on, you need to get on now. We can't hold up the entire ride for you, sir. The exit's that way, where the other adventures await. People around us are starting to notice. Unfortunately, Flynn, who is lined up with Carl towards the back, is paying very close attention, grinning like he knew this was going to happen. Aw, TJ too scared? Guess you're a pussy after all. Shut up, Flynn. Hey, TJ, when it gets real bad, just say to yourself, at least I'm not gonna die. Actually, a few people have... TJ! I yell at him, and that seems to jar TJ out of his trance. He almost falls into the car as he stumbles into it, fumbling with his shoulder restraints before the fox attendant sighs and leans down to do it for him. I can see the red on the insides of TJ's ears as he blushes, and I feel my own ears burn a little from secondhand embarrassment. Now that it's too late, I realize that we shouldn't have started with this ride. We should have started with something smaller to build up his confidence. Can you save it right here? Poor TJ. I'm jolted back as the train moves forward. Oh gosh! TJ's paws lashes out and latches onto my arm. Oh no, why am I doing this? I reach over and try to move his paw from my arm and back onto the handle on his shoulder restraints. TJ, hold on to that. My arm, you're gonna... Chase, quiet! I pause, staring at the links. I'm really not used to hearing TJ yell. He's almost puffed out to twice his size. I just need some quiet right now. Nah! Our train begins its descent up the first hill, and I can feel TJ's claws pricking through my fur into the skin. He starts mumbling quietly to himself, his eyes closed. TJ, are you praying? He doesn't say anything, and soon we've reached the apex of the climb. I give up on trying to move his paw and sit back, a little nervous myself. I really hope TJ doesn't completely lose it. I rinsed the blood off my arm in a dirty theme park bathroom. It wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been, though TJ did start crying when we hit the first inversion. He had scratched the shit out of my forearm, grabbing it with both paws once we started the descent. Unfortunately, Flynn and Carl were still on the platform when we rolled back into the boarding station. Flynn looked ready to lay into TJ again, but when he saw the tears, he had the decency to hold back. I helped the shaking Lynx out of the car, and somehow we managed to stumble into the bathroom, where he quickly hid in a stall. I should have forced him out the exit. He'd always had anxiety problems, though I think we all believed it was a childhood thing that he'd gotten over. I don't know if he still takes medication. Hey, TJ? Yeah? We should probably get back. Leo texted me that they're all waiting by the ride. Hold up, guys. Let me talk over this because I think the music is, actually, in this part is copyrighted, so I'm going to skip the music right here. Alright. Yeah, I'll be out in a second. The cheerfulness in his voice is forced. I ignore the weird looks I'm getting from the other people in the bathroom and instead inspect my arm. The scratches are pretty superficial, so the bleeding has stopped. No one would notice it under the thick fur, even if it's tender as hell. I hear the stall door open behind me, and through the mirror, I see TJ come out. He sees me looking over my arm, and his face crumples up again. Chase, I'm sorry. Is it bad? I really don't want him to start crying again. TJ cried a lot when he was a kid, almost every day, and even at 19, it seems like he's still pretty susceptible. It's fine. It doesn't even hurt. Oh, well, that's good. We stand there awkwardly for a few seconds. Then I air out my shirt, which was starting to stick to my sweaty body. Listen, it's honestly getting way too hot for me to wait in lines all day. I think I'd rather just sit down and watch some shows or something. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you want to do that with me? TJ's ears come up a little, and he clutches his paws together, the fidgeting subsiding a bit. Yeah, Chase, I think that'll be fun. I can tell he's at least a little relieved. We both head back out towards the ride, and I spot the four of them waiting by the exit. I furrow my brows. I spot Carl crouched on the ground, Jenna kneeling next to him and rubbing his back. Let me see if the song has passed yet. Okay, apparently. Okay. Yeah, sure, why not? A little bit. Nope, not time to save it yet. Hey, everything alright? Jenna looks up, a sympathetic smile on her face. Carl's not feeling too good. You want to sit on a bench or something? If I move, I'm gonna... That's what you get for stuffing your face right before our ride. You think they sell ginger pills here? Or ginger ale, at least? A joint would be nice. There's some vendors over there. I'll go check. Save it right here. I'm actually kind of glad everyone's preoccupied with Carl right now. Take some of the heat off TJ. Let's move you to the bench. It'll be better if you're sitting down. Slowly, Jenna and Leo lift Carl up, and now I can see from his face that he really is ill. To the average person, our little outing might already seem like a disaster, but this is perfectly typical for us. Nothing ever went according to plan. We sit Carl down at a bench and he bends over, his face in his hands as he moans softly. Ugh. TJ comes back with a medium-sized cup in his paws. He sits next to Carl. No ginger ale, but they did have some lime soda. Carl takes it and sips a bit of it before sitting back and belching. Fuck it. I'm done, guys. What? What are you gonna do all day? Sit here? Actually, me and Chase are gonna go see some shows. You wanna come with us? You can come with us. Ugh. Guys, we were doing this to hang out with each other, remember? I'll leave him. We're wasting time. Flynn turns and walks off, his hands shoved in his pockets, hunched like a stone gargoyle. He definitely looked the part, being a lizard. Damn, that was probably a bit speciesist. Well, we all have our phones. Text us, alright? Sure. Jenna turns and follows Flynn, but Leo hesitates a moment. He looks at me before eventually turning to follow Flynn and Jenna. 5 minutes later, Carl's stomach settles to the point where he's able to get up and walk. At this point, I'm completely wiped out, and I just want to sit down. I point out the first stage we see, and they agree. I sigh gratefully when I sit down. Hey, you look tired as shit. I crack an eye open to see Carl giving me a sidelong glance. I don't sleep very well in motel beds. Yeah, I can attest to that. Actually woke up around 2. You were gone. Now TJ's looking at me too, and I feel my gut clench for a second. Yeah, I tried to go for a walk down the street. Hoped it would help me get tired. Hell, if that happens, you can just walk over to my house. I'm up until like 3 every night. Wow. Why? Carl shrugs, leaning back and sticking his hooves up against the chair in front of him, earning him a dirty glance from its occupier. Games, mostly. Sometimes I read. Carl rubs his chin, opening his muzzle, closing it, then opening it again. You know, it would be pretty cool if you spent the night one of these days. That house can be creepy as hell when you're the only one in it. You're alone? Yeah, parents are vacationing in the regal paradise, having a bloody good time, they tell me. Carl tries to put on an accent, but doesn't do a very good job of it. Oh, did you want to go with them? Carl blows a raspberry, laughing. Not really. Mom told me right away that weed isn't legal there either, so I took that as them not wanting me to come along. Oh. They did say that the chocolate there is real, whatever that means, and that they'd bring me some. I guess I'm not enough of a fat ass yet. Come on, Carl. But dude, I'm getting there. Soon, all I have to do is stand in front of the mirror, block out my face, and jerk it to my moves. I make a dumb snorting, croaking sound, and I can feel TJ looking at the two of us disapprovingly. Not the hardest thing to do when you're high. Wait, you've actually done it? Carl shrugs, smirking at me. I reach out and grab his chest. From what I can tell, there's a pretty firm set of pecs under there. Carl puts a mock horrified look on his face. Sexual assault! He touched my breast! Oh, whatever, Carl. They're harder than mine. So now we're teenage girls in the locker room comparing racks? Sit right here. Some silly guys doing silly things. Hey, you're the one that brought up tits. You know what? I can see it. Yeah. You're the hot, preppy one everyone likes. I'm the big fat chick you're all nice to, but call Big Thunder Mountain behind her back. And TJ? TJ hadn't been paying attention, distracted with watching some dancers come on stage. He looks innocently at us. Huh? You're the cute, naive Christian chick that only takes it up the butt so as to stay a virgin. What? Oh god, I love this part. The first playthrough was funny as hell. Let me feel your boobies. I want to compare. What in the world are you No! Small but perky. After a few seconds of tussling and Carl getting smacked in the nose by TJ, somebody shushes us from behind and we're forced into silence. The show starts off with a bunch of mice having a weird sort of hoedown. TJ's really into it and actually starts clapping along. I smile. TJ could definitely be kind of cute sometimes. Carl just rubs his nose and leans back, watching with a smirk, as if the whole thing is a joke to him. At this point, my eyelids are feeling really heavy. At most, I'd gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep last night. I think about leaning my head back, but the backs of the seats are pretty low, and I just end up with my head hanging over the back. Leaning forward would just be impossible. I could lean on one of my friends. I don't think they'd mind. I'm gonna lean on TJ. I don't remember if I leant on him the first time or not. TJ might be smaller, but he's definitely an easy guy to convince. Especially if he thinks he's helping someone out. TJ, can I lean on you for a bit? No. What? Why? He looks a little uncomfortable. I'm so tired, man. Oh, alright. I lay my head in the crook of his neck and I can feel him tense up a little. But after a while he relaxes. There's some heat coming off his neck, and I'm pretty sure he's blushing. It's not too bad, though. He may be slender, but his fur is pretty damn soft. The sounds of the clapping and fiddles start to drift away as the lack of sleep takes its toll. I feel along the rough edges of a rock and dirt. The only thing I can hear is the shower of debris I'm knocking to the ground. The air is stale, and I have the vague feeling that I'm suffocating. I keep going. I'm gonna reach the end eventually. Just have to keep moving. I can tell that I'm going deeper, that I'm going down, deeper and deeper. The space around me is growing smaller and smaller, and soon I'm hunching so that my head doesn't scrape the ceiling. I can hear footsteps, not quite in synchrony with my own. They aren't any kind of footsteps that I've heard before, though. I stop and listen. There's definitely the sound of feet, but not like they're walking. It's like they're stamping down on the ground, making as much noise as possible. This is accompanied by a slapping sound, as if someone is smacking their paws on the ground as well. Imagine a canine toddler, still insisting on walking on all fours while throwing a tantrum. It's heavier, though, like an adult is doing it. That image makes the nape of my neck prickle. But I'm not scared. It's not long after I've stopped that the noise stops as well. Just 10 feet behind me. I turn, watching the darkness. I knew you'd come back. They always do. My voice sounds clogged, muted, like the rocky walls are just sucking up the sound instead of bouncing them down the tunnel. The stamping starts up again, loudly, coming towards me at full speed. Now I can hear sobbing, sniffling, and a strange, guttural grunting. It's just feet away. You're only moving in circles. It veers away, just as the words leave my mouth, going back the way it came. I stand there a while, listening until I can't hear it anymore. I turn and continue on, feeling the walls again as I make my way lower and lower. The smell hits me right as my paws hit it, slick and slippery. Blood coats the walls, my paws run along like thick oil. Ooh, what a creepy place to end it. Alright, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of Echo, Jenna's Path. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!